Testimony, Mr. Gibson. Senator Champion, your next testifier.
Mr. Chair, thank you, and I thank you. I thank Mr. Gibson and the others, especially with Mr. Gibson being a Republican and coming forward and talking about his experience and what he's done, and why this is important, not just to him, but to the others that he served as well. Mr. Chair, I have with me Shane Price, who's the co-founder of the Power of People Leadership Institute. And then I'm going to also ask Willie Lloyd, who's the founder of Rare Action, to come up and join us. So if they could go in that order, Mr. Chair, that would be great.
Mr. Price, welcome to the committee. Go ahead and state your name for the record. And then
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Brother Shane Price, Power of People Personal Development and Leadership Institute. That's a very long name. We do three things. We do prevention and intervention for girls. We do prevention and intervention for boys. We work with men who are incarcerated. I have been serving men who are incarcerated. That's my area, reentry. For the last 17 years, I spent 4 days a week, every week, for 17 years, providing personal development and leadership training inside of Minnesota State Correctional Facilities. We have the most successful reentry program in recent Minnesota history. I know that because I'm African American, you might think that all of my students are African American, but that isn't true. To be honest with you, when we concluded just prior to COVID, 60% of all of my students were European men. But we have the most successful track record in recent history that there is where ex-offenders are concerned. Some of my successful students are in this room right now, and oh, what a change it is for us to have been together in those halls of some of those institutions back there, and here we are in this beautiful institution here on Martin Luther King Drive. It's a beautiful day for me because some of my students are right here in this room right now and prepared to speak. But I would just share this and be brief, that to be able to add to the rehabilitation component the capacity, the civic capacity building component of vote for our students would be excellent in a lot of ways, because some of our students would be able to see themselves as real parts of the state of Minnesota. For many years, some in my community had their rights to vote suppressed, even though they were granted, but they were suppressed. I would ask the Senate to be on the right side of history where this is concerned, and take this as an opportunity to move forward the equity of voting and voting rights in the state of Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Price. And while you're there, I'm going to ask your students to, if you're in the audience, go ahead and raise your hand so we can just identify you.
Or stand up.
Or stand up so we can see that you're here.
Pop that.
It's wonderful. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your being here. Thank you. Senator Champion.
So next to me is Willie Lloyd. As I mentioned, he's the founder of Rare Action, and I'm going to ask Taylor Jones, who's from Sustainable